To our 2 o'clock panel here at California Ocean Day. My name is Amy Wolfram, and I'm Monterey Bay Aquarium's California Ocean Policy Senior Manager. It is my pleasure to welcome you to our 17th annual California Ocean Day and our second one virtually. Thank you for being here. In the next 50 minutes, you'll be hearing from Monterey Bay Aquarium's Executive Director, Julie Packard. After Julie's remarks, we'll take a virtual tour of the aquarium, visiting a number of our iconic exhibits and check in with some of our animal friends. And we'll also hear from some of our aquarium colleagues from behind the scenes. A few housekeeping notes. Please make sure your mics are on mute for the duration of the presentation. Following our keynote from Julie, we'll start our virtual tour of the aquarium, and you may submit your questions in the chat box. We will try to answer as many of them as we go, and we'll have a short amount of time at the end as well. Thank you for all that you're doing for California's ocean and coast. And now I'd like to turn it over to Julie Packard, Monterey Bay Aquarium's Executive Director. Over to you, Julie.
Thank you, Amy, and welcome everyone. Hope your meetings are going well. And again, really want to thank you for being part of our virtual Ocean Day California event. We're really excited about the aquarium tour, of course. And I wish I could be in Sacramento on this spring day as we celebrate our amazing California coast and ocean and the great work you're doing to protect and restore these living resources now and for all the future generations. So I also want to shout out to our public health officials, state and county, and within our healthcare system, who are steadily bringing the pandemic under control. Step by step, we're all getting back to the activities we've had to put on hold for the past 2 years. The aquarium was closed for over 14 months, and I can't begin to tell you how great it is to have people back in our exhibit halls. And in just another week, we're going to open one of the most ambitious exhibitions that we've ever created about life in the deep sea, which of course, as you all probably know, is the largest and the least understood living space on our water planet Earth. So next time you're in Monterey, please come by and explore into the deep, exploring our undiscovered ocean. You'll be able to see amazing animals that live in the deep ocean, like bloody belly comb jellies and giant spider crabs and sea angels and bone-eating worms. And we're going to be sharing some really important stories about how much our lives depend on the health of the deep sea and how human activities are affecting the living ecosystems thousands and thousands of feet below the surface. So I mentioned Into the Deep not just because it's an incredible exhibit, which it is, but because it's an example of a mindset that I think is reflected across California. Even when we're faced with huge challenges, the aquarium keeps moving forward with an eye on the future to advance our mission to inspire conservation of the ocean. That spirit's really a hallmark of California's leadership in safeguarding our coast and ocean, and as a national leader in environmental stewardship. In spite of the significant challenges that we face today, our state is moving forward with new initiatives that are leading the way. And of course, what we do in California sets the bar for the rest of the nation. And each of you has such an important role to play in that process. So again, thank you. You're the ones that are making it happen. Sometimes leadership begins with a grassroots movement. That was the case with the California Coastal Zone Conservation Act, which was a voter-led initiative passed into law 50 years ago this November. And then sometimes it's the result of hard work by legislative champions, as with the Federal National Marine Sanctuaries Act, that also marks its 50th anniversary this year, or creation of the Monterey Bay National Marine Sanctuary, designated 30 years ago this September, where then Representative Leon Panetta was the driving force. California's network of marine protected areas took shape 10 years ago after Assemblymember Fred Keeley laid the groundwork with passage of the Marine Life Protection Act. All of these things didn't just happen, they happened because people took the lead and did the hard work. So today, of course, we're dealing with pandemic uncertainty, anxiety about Russia's war with Ukraine, and the growing awareness that we're already living with and adapting to. the consequential impacts of global climate change, factor in the challenges of redressing the injustices and policies that for so long have marginalized people of color and the poor, and there's a lot on our plates. But I believe if there's a silver lining and a cause for hope, because I see people who are more motivated than ever to work for change. I'm so encouraged by the work of California's new leaders in Sacramento and beyond. And I'm really fired up by the passion and talent of the young people coming through programs like those we offer at the aquarium. And shout out to those of you who are part of this event today that have come through our programs at the aquarium. It's fantastic, so fun to see you in action, emerging leaders who are stepping up and making a difference. So because of your work, California took significant steps last year to curb the tide of plastic pollution flowing into the ocean. Worldwide, the equivalent of a garbage truck full of plastic ends up in the ocean every minute of every day. And it's polluting habitats from the surface way down to the seafloor, from polar ice to the subtropical ocean gyres. Plastic harms wildlife, it's hard to clean up, and it has a disproportionate impact on communities near plastic manufacturing and disposal sites. Plastic pollution has absolutely skyrocketed over the last 20 years, and we're not going to be able to recycle our way out of this mess. California has stepped up in an amazing way by enacting 5 bills last year to tackle plastic pollution and support consumer choice. But of course, there's more we need to do. All of what we need to do is spelled out in a new report from the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine about the US contribution to global plastic pollution. The panel that produced the report and recommendations for action was chaired by Margaret Spring, the aquarium's very own Chief Conservation and Science Officer. In 2022, we can take the next step by passing into law in November the California Plastic Waste Reduction Initiative on the November ballot. So the aquarium, along with other partners, is working hard in this campaign, and I really invite all of you to track it and get involved. And I want to thank the 11 members of the legislature who have endorsed it so far. We really look forward to more of you joining us. So California continues to lead the nation in addressing the climate crisis, but again, we need to do more. Earlier this month, we got a boost from the Biden administration when the EPA restored California's ability to impose tough regulations restricting tailpipe emissions, standards that, again, are going to drive change across the country. The California Natural Resources Agency took another big step when it prepared its draft Natural and Working Lands Climate Smart Strategy using nature to help sequester carbon from the fossil fuels we're burning. This policy incorporates restoration of coastal wetlands as a blue carbon solution for locking away carbon in the sediment. And overall, the policy is really going to help California meet our ambitious goals for reducing greenhouse gas emissions so we can avoid the most catastrophic impacts of climate change. Embracing nature-based solutions on land and in the ocean is absolutely critical if we hope to avoid even more severe impacts on our people and communities from warming ocean water, sea level rise, wildfires, and drought. And all of those things, of course, are front and center in our lives right now. California is also stepping up to address another emerging threat to ocean health, which is really important to keep our eye on, the prospect of unchecked mining of the seafloor. So in the current legislative session, the aquarium has joined with Surfrider Foundation to support passage of Assembly Bill 1832, authored by Assemblymember Luz Rivas, to ban destructive mining of mineral deposits on the seafloor. So there's growing pressure around the world to mine the ocean floor. They've been talking about it for decades, but it's finally starting to roll, starting to happen, get ready to happen. And of course, those substances are used for things like manufacturing components for electric cars, wind turbines, and other clean energy technologies. But the mining comes with an environmental cost. Destruction of sensitive habitats, whose ecosystems have not been studied, and potential impacts on the animals in the water column from the plumes of sediment that the mining vessels will pump overboard. There's so little known about the deep sea. It's such a fragile habitat, and we really don't even have any idea what the impacts will be, but well, we have some idea and they're not good, but there's much we don't know. So the way I see it, we absolutely need to meet the growing demand for technology in our society, but we need to do so in less damaging ways. California is a leader in developing innovative solutions to big challenges, and I know we can find less destructive ways to support these technologies that we all know and love and need. So finally, I want to applaud California for embracing environmental justice as it advances climate solutions and protects our ocean resources, in particular through partnerships with Native American tribes to achieve our ambitious climate and conservation goals. Governor Newsom's $100 million budget proposal to help tribes acquire and protect land will contribute to nature-based solutions, draw on traditional knowledge to inform stewardship of the land, and protect communities that are among the most vulnerable to the impacts of climate change. It deserves all of our support. I'm also really encouraged by the federal proposal to designate the Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary off the Central California coast. Super exciting. It's the first tribally nominated marine sanctuary, and it would protect marine and cultural resources along 156 miles of coastline, while also leaving open the opportunity and possibility for developing clean offshore wind energy outside the proposed sanctuary boundaries. If designated, it would extend marine sanctuary protection to waters extending north of San Francisco Bay to the Santa Barbara Channel Islands, which would be amazing. So in the end, what's true in natural systems is true in human society as well. Our lives and our fates are intertwined. I am so proud to live and work in a state that recognizes our interdependence. When we work together, when we empower and protect the most vulnerable, we all are stronger and our futures are more secure. I want to thank you again for all you're doing, your parts, each of you, to make a difference. I'm really hopeful about the future. And now I'd like to turn it back over to Amy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Julie. I very much appreciated your remarks. Now I am very excited to have two more extremely knowledgeable people with me here today. Please join me in welcoming Natalia Hurley, our Director of Interpretive Programs, and our Director of Husbandry Operations, Paul Clarkson. Over to you, Paul.
Hi, Amy. Nice to see everyone out there in California Ocean Day land. I am broadcasting right now from downstairs. Natalia is upstairs. I'm in front of our open sea window. You can see some tuna circulating behind me. I'm particularly excited to stand right here because this also happens to be the entrance of our new deep sea exhibition. Oh, spoiler alert, you get to see in there. No one else gets to see in there yet. Sorry, that's all you get to see. Come back, please, as early as next week. If you're a member, we'd love to show you our fascinating new exhibition. And right upstairs from me is Natalia. I'll kick it upstairs to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Paul. Yes, we had this visualized that I would wave down to Paul, he'd wave up to me, but I don't know if that's how it works on your screens. Thanks. Hi, Paul. I am at the top of our open sea exhibit, so hopefully it's not too loud. There's a lot of things going on back here, but this is the top view. You see our wonderful catwalk that our animal care team uses to broadcast feed this amazing 1.2 million gallon exhibit. I am the Director of Interpretive Programs. I'm going on 10 years here at the aquarium, and my background's actually in comms and international relations. So I thought I was going to be spending a career hanging out with all of you, and I have definitely the next best thing is working on the other side of impacting, just inspiring conservation of the ocean and impacting that connection with our guests so that we can inspire those folks visiting us here and beyond to take action to protect our ocean. So like has already been shared, thank you for everything that all of you do as ocean champions. We are definitely all on the same team here. And I am excited to share with you, I could still hang out with you all, thank you. I am excited to share with you one of our very good friends, Nick Stong, our colleague here, is going to take you on a behind the scenes virtual tour, if you will, and really give you a sneak peek to some of the amazing things that our organization does here at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. So please enjoy. Paul and I are here to answer any and all questions. So we really encourage you to drop those into the chat. Like Amy said, we'll be spending time hopefully answering your questions there and hopefully save a couple minutes at the end to chat with some of you. So with that, I'll pass it over to start our virtual tour.